story that how once there were three devotees who were aniket, means they were having no permanent residence, but they have heard about each other. And once there was a festival in Ranganath, and the name of the festival was Ranganath's Garud Mahotsav. So all these three devotees, those who were living in separate places, they started thinking that it is better that we can go for that festival. Maybe we will get chance to meet with each other and have darshans. So they started wherever they used to live. It so happened on the way that one of them, while he was walking in the forest, he saw that very heavy rain is supposed to come soon. So at that time, what they did, that they were one of them, he found a place, and it was like an old building, and he thought that it is better for me to take rest in this building for tonight. Tomorrow whatever will happen will happen. So in this way, when he came inside that building, he saw there was only one very small place where he can sit for the night. That was like, can say like bathroom size, very small room. So it was only possible for one person to lay down in that. There was no more space. So that person, he lay down over there. After some time, one man came and he knocked the door. That, oh, who is inside? Maybe if there is a gentle person, Mahapurusha, then please open the door for me. I am struggling outside. Heavy rain is there and very difficult to stand even outside. So this person, the one who was inside, he opened the door. As soon as the person who was outside, he saw that such a small place is there. He said that, oh, please, excuse me, I bothered you, I disturbed you. I didn't want it to disturb you, but it was a heavy rain. But I think I should just stay outside. Somehow or other, you can lay down again. So then this person who was inside, he said that, no, please come in. Please come in. If one person can lay down, then why not two person can just sit together? We will sit together. Just for one night. I will not sleep. What's the big thing? Then both of them, they sat together. And after some time, another person approached. And he was also in the same situation. He knocked the door. As soon as the door was opened, he again asked for forgiveness. But these two people, they said that, no, you can come in. If both of us, we can sit for the whole night, why cannot three of us can just stand and pass the night? We will just stand together. So they did that. So afterward, when they started speaking with each other, they found out they were the same three people, those who wanted to meet with each other, those who have heard the glories of each other. So in this way, Srila Maharaj mentioned that it has been mentioned in the songs of Vaishnava Acharyas, especially like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He is mentioning what is the characteristic of a devotee. The characteristic of a devotee is that for the well-being of others, for the happiness of others, they even give up their own happiness. This is the nature of devotees. Whereas those who are not devotees, they are always struggling to enjoy their own senses and always centered on their own selfishness. They are having nothing to do with anybody else, that what is like what others are going through. They are just concerned about themselves. Like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he mentions in his song that Nij Sukh Pasarive. What is the like teaching for the devotees? That for the happiness of others, the very first thing is been mentioned that Jivan Nirvahi Ane Udveg Nadibe. For one's own livelihood, one should not give even a little bit of pain to anybody else. Jivan Nirvahi Ane Udveg Nadibe. Par upakare nij sukh pasaribe. And for the well-being of others, you can even give up your own happiness. So this is what is the characteristic of a devotee. So when circumstances like this arises, it proves that what is our situation. Otherwise not. He was mentioning how once there was a parikrama party in Nandagram. He was mentioning during the time of his Guru Maharaj that in Nandagram they booked one dharamshala, but there were so many pilgrims, so many devotees. It was difficult for them to accommodate over there in one dharamshala. So the tent was been put on the rooftop, and so many like pilgrims, especially ladies, they got place over there to stay. So in this way, Maharaj was mentioning the time when this kind of thing happens, devotees, they go through the test that what is really their consciousness. What is their consciousness? So in this way, Srila Maharaj was mentioning that those who are not at this level yet, those who cannot see that what can be done for the happiness of others, what they have to do, they have to sing Kabhi Habe Bolo Sedin Amar. When that day will be mine, when I will be thinking also about others, then and only then it will become possible for someone to realize that who am I and what is my duty. But this thing just by mere hearing does not come. It comes when one understands their relationship with the Lord. That if I am having relationship with the Lord, then each and every person they are having relationship with the Lord. And if I do something good for others, then my Lord will be pleased with me. Otherwise, if I will be just thinking about myself, how I will be able to please Him? So this is Sambandh. What is the meaning of Sambandh? Srila Maharaj mentioned this, Vrindavan Bhede Navadvipa Dhame Shachira Nandan Charana Ashray Karibo Sambandh Jani. In this Kirtan it has been mentioned that I will take shelter in Navadvip Dham, make my residence over there, and I will do all these activities by residing over there, chanting the names of Shachinandan Gaur Hari. I will be performing all these acts with sambandha, with relationship, that what is my relationship with the Lord? With this, what is the meaning of relationship? We are having two different bodies, gross body as well as subtle body, and then Atma, the soul, spiritual soul. So our gross body, this is also been given by the Lord. All the five elements of this material world are created by the Lord. Then our subtle body, that is also been given by the Lord, awarded by Him. And spiritual soul's relationship is always there with the Bhagavan. So in this way, all our existence itself is having relationship with the Bhagavan. Unless and until one realizes this, it is not possible that he can have mercy for anybody else. Not today, but Srila Maharaj mentions so many times that A person who realizes his sambandha with Bhagavan, that person is only capable to give mercy to others. Others, they cannot give mercy to anybody else. Why? Because on that level, he can only understand that yes, all these living entities, they are having relationship with my Lord. And if I will help them, my Lord will please with me. So that's why real mercy manifests because of Sambandha Gyan. Otherwise, it is not possible. So in this way, Srila Maharaj was mentioning, each and every one of us, we know what is the diet of our body. If someone is sick, then doctor advise them, sometime you can go to the hill stations, over there you will recover. For some people, you take good diet, then and only then you will be recovered. So different things are being prescribed by the doctors. Why? Because it is having relationship with the gross body, with 5 elements. Whereas if somebody goes to the psychiatric, that oh, my mind does not help me, then what happens? That he gives them advice how you have to be peaceful, what you have to do, what you should not do, all these things. So there are people, those who understand what is the diet of mind also. That means mind is the part of subtle body. What is the diet of subtle body? But it is very, very difficult for us to understand what is the diet of our soul. It is not so easy for us to understand what is that. Unless and until we perform bhajan, service to the Lord and His devotees, it is not possible to even understand what is the real diet of the soul. Srila Maharaj was mentioning that one lady in Jalandhar, she approached his Guru Maharaj that, "Oh Maharaj, I am coming in the temple from last 40 years, practically every day. But still, I see that I have developed love and affection more and more for my son, daughter, grandsons, granddaughters, for all of them, but not for Radha Govinda, where I am coming every day. Why it is like that?" So his Guru Maharaj replied that, "Mataji, your question is very good. I will not give answer only to you. This is a question for everybody. So tomorrow in the assembly I will speak about it." And the next day he started asking this Mataji first that, "Mataji, you are coming in the temple from last 40 years, that's very true. But can you please let me know that what is your relationship with Bhagavan? You ever thought about it? That who is Bhagavan? What is your relationship with him? He is your son, or is your master, or is your beloved, or what?" Then she said, "I never paid attention on this thing at all." Then his Guru Maharaj answered, "Then how can you develop love for the Lord? Because unless and until one knows one's relationship with somebody, it is not possible that that person can develop any kind of love." Can say like, if just at the time of birth a child is being taken away to different country or different city, if he comes across somehow or other with his parents or his relatives, is it possible that his parents, they will be having affection for this son just by mere seeing him or meeting with him? No. Unless and until they come to know that, oh, when he was baby, he was being taken away, he is the same person, he is our son, then and only then they develop love and affection, not otherwise. So once this point comes that yes, what is our relationship, then the point comes that, oh, affection is there, love is there or not. Like Srila Maharaj was giving another example, but to speak of having blood relationship, if a lady, she adopts someone else's son and serve that son, that boy, then what happens? Because of service, because of relationship, now he is my son. So just having this thought in her mind, she develops love for that boy. And afterward, she does not give her wealth or anything to her relatives, those who are having blood relationship, but she gives everything to that person to whom she considers that that person is her son. So in this way, once this thought comes of relationship in the mind, then and only then one develops love, otherwise it is not possible. Like Srila Maharaj was mentioning, that if a beggar comes and you are feeding that beggar, can say like maybe practically every day, but is it possible that your relationship will be developed with that beggar, or your love will be there for him? No. Even though you are giving food, you are serving, but still no affection will be there. But if you start serving a dog with this consciousness that, oh, this dog belongs to me, then what happens? Affection, love for that dog comes in the heart. So this is something which one has to understand very clearly. That's why Maharaj was mentioning, sometimes we see people, they keep dog in their house. They make hot chapatis for them, put ghee on the chapatis and feed them one by one. Why? Because they consider this is my dog. So with this relationship they even serve. So that's why love and affection increases more and more by this. So that's why in one another Kirtan Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur mentions, Sambandh janiya bhajite bhajite abhiman ho dur. At this time I am having this abhiman, pride, that I am this body, so many things belongs to me. But oh my Lord, when that day will come, when Sambandh janiya, I will know my relationship with you, and then what will happen? Bhajite bhajite, then and only then I will inspire more and more to serve you. Why? Because everything came from you. My eyes, my ears, my tongue, my heart, my lungs, whatsoever I am having, what I considered belongs to me, is being supplied, is being given by you. And my only duty is to engage all these things in your service. So when one develops this, then and only then it is possible that his pride goes away. Otherwise not. Like Srila Maharaj was mentioning, he came across with one old person. That person was having his duties and serving for long time. The time came when he was unable to serve the deities. At that time he requested, वो ठाकुर जी कलकत्ता मठ में आए थे, जो आप बोल रहे थे ठाकुर जी की सेवा नहीं कर पाते थे, पानी का गिलास साथ में रख देना, कलकत्ता में, दिल्ली मठ में, कलकत्ता से दिल्ली में लाए थे, साइज ठीक नहीं था जो भी। So that person used to serve the deities, but when he was old, at that time he requested devotees in Chaitanya Gaudiya Math Delhi that please take these deities and serve them properly. When he was giving them deities, at that time he mentioned one thing, that please keep one glass of water every day in the night time with Thakurji. Why? He feels thirsty in the night time and he drinks water. So he was having such a concern. So how come this kind of concern comes when one is having relationship? Otherwise not. Then Srila Maharaj was mentioning one another pastime, that one devotee who used to serve his deities with love and affection, but for some reason he left and the deities were locked. Then the deities came in the dream to this person that, oh, you have locked me, but it is becoming more and more difficult for me to breathe even here. So that person immediately came over there and opened everything for the Thakurji. So Maharaj was mentioning the deities speak with the devotees also. They mention them, but to whom? The devotees who serve them with this kind of relationship. They are having their relationship, like they realized this, according to that they serve, and then in between if something happens, then even Lord reminds them also that what they have to do, what is their duty. So in this way, when we will chant Harinam with this Sambandha Gyan, then and only then we will become successful in our chanting. Otherwise, Maharaj was mentioning, our chanting will not become successful. Then and only then we will be able to relish everything about the Lord. Then he was giving one another example that can say like, there is one person who sent his son in America, and then this person with his wife and his relatives is living in the village, and the son is there in America now. One time, son, he sent one letter through somebody, a person who was visiting India, and he was visiting almost near to their village. So he just sent some gifts for his parents and the letter. So when this person came from America, in the village there was nobody at all who knows English, even a single word. Nobody knows. And this person does not know even a single word of Hindi. So when this person came, just by seeing him, by seeing the gift and the letter, they understood that he is coming from America. He is from like he's living at the same place where our son is living. So at that time, how they can converse with each other, even though externally they cannot converse with each other at all, but still they are very, very enthusiastic, inquisitive to know that how their son lives over there. So somehow or other they try to speak with that person, maybe with some symbols, or what he eats, or where he goes, or something like that. So they want to know about it, even though language barrier is there. So in the same way, if somebody develops their relationship with the Lord, then does not matter whoever comes giving the message of Lord, language or any other thing is not a barrier over there. A person always gets more and more inspired to hear about the Lord. Why? Because Sambandha is there. Because these parents, they are having relationship with their son, so somehow or other they want to know from a person who has come from that place. So in this way, Maharaj was mentioning all these things depends on our relationship. There is one verse he was mentioning from Bhagavatam, Udasino wala Bhagavat ka shlok hai na? Udasino asi hari. That in Srimad Bhagavatam it has been mentioned, a person Udasino means a person who is Sambandha Gyan Rahit, a person who has not developed his Sambandha Gyan yet. It is mentioned that one should not associate with such a person. Udasino asi hari. Consider that that person is like your enemy. Why? Because if you will spend your time with that kind of person, still there will be no benefit at all from him. And a person who is having Sambandha Gyan, if you will associate with him, then and only then you will be developing your bhakti. Like at this point, Srila Maharaj mentioned this word, Sajatiya Ashay Snigdha, means with whom one has to associate. Sajatiya means whose goal is one. He is of the same jati, same caste. Like Srila Maharaj was mentioning, we are the devotees of Krishna. So there may be devotees of Ram, there may be devotees of Narsinghadev, but Sajatiya, who is our Sajatiya of the same caste, the devotees, those who are the devotees of Krishna, they are our Sajatiya, not others. But even though we may have to stay some time with those who are devotees of Ram, devotees of Narsingha, but our heart will not be so much pleased by staying with them. Our heart will be pleased only by staying with those who are the devotees of Krishna. Sajatiya Ashay, Snigdha. Then Maharaj was mentioning, those devotees should be Snigdha also. Snigdha means affectionate, merciful, not otherwise. At this point, Srila Maharaj mentioned that even though if we have to stay with the devotees of Ram or Narsingha, if we are having Tattva Gyan, then there will be no difference, there will be no fight among each other, but still the heart will not be satisfied. But when we will stay with the devotees of Krishna, then and only then our mind will be completely peaceful. And then Srila Maharaj was mentioning that devotee should be snigdha, affectionate. If he is not affectionate, that means he is not a devotee? No, he is a devotee, but not for me. Why? At this point, Srila Maharaj again mentioned, means it has been mentioned in the Shastras that one should associate with those who are affectionate, not others. Why? Because drishtai swabhav janitai vapushascha doshai. Srila Rupa Goswami, when he is mentioning this verse, over there he is mentioning that even though Ganga is pure always, but wherever there are bubbles, wherever there is some foam, mud or the bubbles, one should not take water from there. Ganga water is very pure all the time. If you keep it for years after years after years, it will not go bad. But if you will take water, Ganga water even, with bubbles or with mud or with foam, then it will spoil soon. Srila Maharaj was giving practical example. In Ludhiana, I think he mentioned that over there, one person, he asked Maharaj that, oh, I am having two different waters, Ganga waters in my house. One Ganga water was been collected by my father long back, and one Ganga water I just collected. The one which my father kept is still fine, but the one which I collected is going bad. Why it is like that? Srila Maharaj mentioned that it has been prescribed. One should not take water of Ganga even where there is foam or where there is mud or bubbles. Why? Because it is, even though it is Ganga water, but still it is having the sin of Indra in it. That's why it will not be going in the same way. It will not be good for all the time. So in the same way, a devotee, even though he may not be affectionate to you, he is still a devotee, but not for you. Why? Because by staying with him, you will not be develop your bhakti. So in this way, Srila Maharaj concluded by explaining something about Indra, that why sin personified came to him, because he was killing a Brahmin, and Lord, he did not protected him because he was not Sharanagat, and he had to suffer for his sins, and then he has to divide the sins among four different things: tree and the earth, as well as water and the woman. So in this way he divided it. Why he had to suffer for the sin? Because he was not Sharanagata. When one becomes Sharanagata, then Lord always protects that person. But if a person is not Sharanagata, is not surrendered to the Lord, then Lord does not protect him. So in this way he concluded, and different things he was mentioning in between. I think time is running. At the same time, it is little difficult to sit here also suffocated. So we will just move now. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams.